You're watching my favorite YouTuber, ChillMonger. My name is Chill. I like to keep it cold. And in the summer, I have nothing to hold. But when it's winter, it's getting cold. And that's when I say, yo. That's when I say, yo. Hey, your turn.
I'm not a good rapper, but I am Planet Fanatics, and I am here with the rapper, the Canadian, your favorite YouTuber, Showmonger. We are going to bring you guys some blurty, nerdy news.
Your mic is picking up like.
Oh, I couldn't even begin to tell you what it is.
Bring it closer, higher up. Maybe it'll stop picking. Maybe it's a fan. Maybe I don't know.
No fans, so couldn't tell you. If you're hearing something, that would have to be for Henry to come in and fix.
Just
We
do
were
the
even
thing.
lucky I got this camera on.
Just do the thing when you mute it when you're not speaking, and then we should be fine. We have a plethora of things to speak about, but when do we not, bro? We got to talk about Star Wars. Dave Filoni's Star Wars, something Dave Filoni told the Rap about how I do like Andor. You got false information, which is a sign of communication, right? Dave Filoni, Ryan Johnson. Also, we got to talk about that. We got to talk about the sequel trilogy, and what are we going to refer to that as? Now, Dave Filoni is not the only guy communicating. James Gunn is also taking part in communication efforts. We've got to talk about Luke Cage and the Daredevil. Huh? Marvel has a whole bunch of Avengers Doomsday conversation going on, so it kind of worked. What Russos were saying, look out for this, look out for that. And there's like supposedly this really awesome leaked scene. I heard John Campia and Robert Meyer Barnett speaking about it when I was just watching their channel, on John Campia's channel, and we're gonna replay that today. But on Sunday night, dun 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 dun. Did you see the Game of Thrones prequel, Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
I started it. I don't currently have HBO Max, um, but I did start it, and my site kept glitching. So I only got to. I don't remember where I got to. But what I did see, I did like. I didn't dislike it.
Okay, well, to quote Trick Williams, let's talk about it. You don't understand that reference, but let's talk about it. From what you saw, you got to see a nice, tall Sir Dunk, real name Duncan. We got to see him speaking to a little boy. I can be your squire. I'm sure you saw that part because that was in the beginning. And they kind of set the table, none on world building. I did not hear, well, that's House Baratheon and that's House Targaryen. That's House. We didn't hear a whole bunch of that. They expected you to have done the work and already watched the show. And I really like that about the show.
Yeah, I really like the show. I mean, it's so far what I've seen, I like. Um, if you know the story, you know the story. You know how this goes. Um, there are going to be families that are mentioned. So, I mean, the Targaryens are in reign at this time. Meeker is king, Aegon's father. Um, so, yeah, we've got. I've liked it so far. I like it so far. I like how they started to play the Game of Thrones theme and then cut it because it's not House of Dragon. It's not Game of Thrones. We're not focusing on you know um, families and things like you mentioned. We're not focusing on those families. So it's a different. I still hope that the next episode. I hope they do the whole theme song. I feel like any Game of Thrones spinoff, whatever, should have that Game of Thrones theme. Um, so yeah, I like it so far.
Maybe put it in the closing credits. It's not too late to edit it. Until they hit send on the episode on HBO Max, they have until Sunday to edit and fix it. Maybe if enough people complain, there's not the Game of Thrones song, it's missing, we need more of it. They'll just say, fine, here you go. That's what I would do. I would adjust. Um, but yeah, it doesn't need it. It is a different style of show, and I like it. I'm okay with it. My favorite part was when I saw his bare bottom and I saw poop exiting it. That was cinema. That was it for me. Did you get to that part behind the tree?
I did see behind the tree. Let me leave and come back in. Hold on.
Okay. Well, that was me being facetious. I did not like that. I actually turned away when I saw that moment, and that's probably the reason why my face is the way that it is. I saw that nastiness. Uh, that was nasty, but whatever, man. It's just, okay. We got to see, dude. I wouldn't do those scenes if they tell me, hey, here's a contract, Chillmonger. You're gonna be paid, you know what, $1 million for the season. We're gonna make you a star, the biggest opportunity of your life. You just gotta drop trowel, and you got a number two on screen. Don't It'll be fake. Don't worry. We'll have like a machine shooting it. I would say no. I would say I'm sorry. Like, not me. You'll find someone else who would be willing to take that job. Put one in the chat if you would take the job. Put two. It should be two, shouldn't it? Put a two in the chat if you would number two on screen. Put a number two in the chat. And if you are like me and you would not take this job, give me a number one on the chat. See what you say. Let's see what you say. Show comments on stage. We got, hold on. Grand Regent Thrag says, I don't think I've ever seen doo-doo on screen, LOL. Hey, rated R. Rated R, baby. There's no television ratings to be concerned. And yes, the community is with me. We're not doing that. We're not taking that stuff. Erica says, small folk story, and yes, I turned away too. Even you turned away? That scene was for you. You were, hey, quiet as it's kept. Ladies like to look at some of the man's fanny just as much as they say we like to look at theirs. They say like that's the most sought out body part. So maybe if you weren't enjoying that, then who is this for? Why did I need to see those glutes? 3 for the Dubai trip. Nasty. Well, you guys don't deserve internet. You guys are disgusting people. It's Sheed. And William Moloch. Ugh. Not like that. Nah. So sorry, I got a message on IG. I'm expecting somebody to join me. Actually, it was the same dude I was talking about the Kickstarter the other day when we were looking over it and just talking about like all that stuff. So he just messaged me. He may be able to join, and if he does, you'll see him in about probably an hour from right now. And if not, then I'll just do the solo video with him. But before we get to the Kickstarter situation, before we get to the man who is making the Kazi village of rescue, before we get to that, we have so many other things to chat about. I was laying them up and I'll trade them up one more time. Usually Darius is good at sending like 10 things in the DM earlier before we start our show. And of the things we're talking about, Marvel, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, you know what to expect from us every single week. The Game of Thrones talk, I guess, we'll cut short. He'll get to the Game of Thrones, or sorry, Knights of Seven Kingdoms. He'll get to that, and we'll get to it too. The next thing to talk about, though, before we get to anything too major, is that the CEO of Disney is not going to be your boy no more. We have a feeling that this dude, we have a feeling, everybody, that Bob Iger is going to be on his way out. It's supposed to be an announcement next month. And that's a big shift coming from Disney. So what this means to us Marvel heads is the guy who sided against Ike Perlmutter, who used to own Marvel, the toy company guy. He used to own Marvel for 20 years. He was a significant person there. In 2015, Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios president, says, I don't want to have to be under this guy. He's restricting me. I want to do a Captain Marvel movie. I want to do a Black Panther movie, amongst other decisions that he wants to make that Ike Perlmutter was not letting him do. Bob Iger said, fine. From now on, Marvel Studios is separate from Marvel Entertainment. Today they're the same thing, but they're separate. You don't have to speak under work under Ike Perlmutter. That's a decision that Bob Iger made. So if Bob Iger is gone, does he view Kevin Feige anymore as the golden boy? He kind of never did. Kevin Feige was also supposed to do a Star Wars movie, and that's been stripped away from him because of a low performing after Endgame Marvel. Kevin Feige's been reprimanded in a way. Feige spoke late last year. He was speaking to all of the Collider, all of those like shill website people, and he said in that interview that was not recorded, I have like another year left, and then we'll see what happens. You know, we'll see what happens there. I love to make movies. I love to make big movies. He never said he'd be sticking around over here at Marvel. People thought, okay, that's because he's gonna move to Lucasfilm. Not happening. Dave Filoni and Lin Brenwin are running Lucasfilm. So what does it mean? Bob Iger might just say, "Yo, Kevin Feige, I'm a gone. I'm the guy who promoted you. I'm the guy who believed in you." Someone else will objectively, with fresh eyes, look at what's happening and say, "Not you. You're out. The Russo brothers are better at this producing stuff. They tie stuff together anyway since they do the Avengers movies. I'd rather have two of them than one of you, Kevin, and I'd rather pay someone else to do the administrative work." The same way Dave Filoni and Lin Brennan work, James Gunn and Peter Safran work over at DC. I'm sure I'm sure Kevin Feige's rock steady position isn't rock steady anymore. Thankfully, the Spider-Man movie will do great. And he got an Avengers Doomsday and an Avengers Secret Wars movie coming up. When the results of those toy sales and box office grosses come in, no one's getting rid of Feige for that. So it's just a matter of the standards of the new guy. Will he say, "Yeah, we know you made $1.5 billion, but since Avengers Infinity War made 2 billion, you're actually doing worse." I don't think that happens. I'm not afraid because Bob Iger is leaving that Kevin Feige's job is at risk. I'm not blue. So, as much as I would be okay with Kevin Feige not being in charge anymore for someone else, for someone who actually does a Blade movie, not Midnight Suns, for somebody who does Black Panther with T'Challa, not T'Child, I think I think I'm okay with Kevin Feige going, but he's gonna stick around. Good, get him out of here. Wow. Now that the KK situation is handled, Bob is out of there. LOL. You know how embarrassing that would have been if, let's say, she didn't leave. Just to say Bob Iger let her stay. Bob Iger goes next month, and then the new guy comes in charge. The first move, the first person he fires is going to be Kathleen Kennedy at Lucasfilm. Tick tick, like time was ticking on Kathleen Kennedy's exit, and she chose to do it now. And looking back at it, I'm kind of okay with Kathleen Palpatine choosing to exit Lucasfilm right now. You there, Darius? I see you, I think. Let's go to this screen. It's like you're supposed to be there, but you're not. Say something? No, don't hear you. Try re entering. See what happens. Try again. I don't hear you. Oh, you left the screen. My bad. Oh, now that the KK situation is handled, they need to put Iman Vellani in charge too early. What she needs to do is learn more about film, do more roles, and she's like doing a voice acting for an animated movie we just did a trailer for. She's doing for the pigs, remember? The farm and everything. They need to put Iman Vellani in charge. Yeah, I agree. Kevin did great the first couple phases. I would like to see the Russos take over. ChillMonger, what is your thoughts on Maxima being in Man of Tomorrow, not Wonder Woman? I don't know who Maxima is, so I don't have thoughts on it. And just because you debut in one doesn't mean fit another. Ulysses Claw debuted in Cap in Avengers: Age of Ultron, and Ulysses Claus, the main villain of Black Panther. So be patient. I think I see you. Do I hear you?
You should. My
I hear you, and I don't hear the fuzzy either.
hates OBS. Or not OBS, but StreamYards. I don't know.
You're just low. You're like your voice is low.
Can you hear me any better?
Yeah, and the fuzzy shh came back. It is what it is. You just gotta yell. You gotta yell like Drewski in those videos he does. How do you feel about Bob Iger leaving?
I mean, if from what we understand, from what we've been told behind the scenes, Bob Iger hasn't been the knight that we all thought he was. That was coming back from the Chapek era to save the day. Not obviously hasn't been better than the Chapek era. Yes, it has. But just from things we've heard, if we were to believe the Star Wars rumors and other things, that Bob Iger's not the guy we all thought or wanted him to be. So he's gone. It's another. I'm sure it's not going to be somebody that is, creative minding and wanted in. It's going to be another money head, somebody, a business head, somebody that's coming in to bring money in and going to do that however they see fit. So if he's gone, he's gone. Will the next person be worse than Chapek, worse than him, or same level? That's what we'll see.
It's usually worse. And it's hard to react to this new story. There's gonna be somebody new here, somebody brand new. Who, what, when, where, why? What's their thought process? We don't know. I do think that there's more power in the studio heads, that being of Lucasfilm and Marvel Studios, the two I care about. Disney doesn't do anything for me otherwise. James Cameron, I guess, with Avatar, but do I really care about Avatar? I don't care about Avatar. So that's my thoughts on it. Thank you. You know what we haven't talked about though? What franchise we need to talk about though? Fast and Furious. Your boy Vin Diesel. He is going to be part of the roller coaster, the Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. It's replacing Rip Ride Rocket at Universal's Orlando in 2027. The Fast and Furious Supercharged ride will be permanently closed in 2027 as a result. They're closing a Fast and Furious ride to open a new Fast and Furious ride. I want to ride this ride. I want to see what a new Fast and Furious ride is like. What explosions will it be? Will they simulate going to space again? Will we be in Russia in the ice? Are we going to go over a bridge, throw a grip hook like Link, and swing over to the other side of the island? What's going on? This is the coolest roller coaster concept that exists to man.
I froze again, but let me try something else. I think it's because I'm using bitch ass Chrome. So let me get the fuck out of Chrome and go back into Firefox. So PSA, if you use Chrome, fuck Chrome, because that's what's doing this. So I'll be back.
Okay. We heard that rant. Fast and Furious. Oh, a ride, lol. Yeah. The movie's still delayed. We don't know when the next movie's coming out. They usually have been doing every 2 years, unless there would be a lockdown or something. This would be year 2, and the movie is not coming this summer. So why is it taking so long? There was a hell of a cliffhanger with Dante blowing up Dominic and his son. So let's see the finale of this. And The Rock is back. Hobbs. They'll run it into the ground at all costs. Hey, $700 million the last movie. $700 million. There's an audience. You should get in for free with family. Comment of the day. I'm just pulling up the next thing. That's why I went quiet. I'm going to react to what John Campia had to say over on his show talking about Avengers.
But yeah, indicated to me was the sheer amount and volume of action in this thing. When you're talking in terms of minutes on screen and scope, is going to blow away everything Marvel's ever done.
Oh well,
And
that's
so I'm like,
no. The thing is, that's one of the things I've explained to people. I'm like, I honestly don't know how some of the stuff that's in this movie is going to be accomplished. I have no idea. Even from the opening, what could be the opening.
by the way, can I go on record again? No spoiler, no spoilers,
yeah.
no spoilers. I think the greatest comic book movie opening, well, the two greatest comic book movie openings ever are X-Men 2 with Nightcrawler attacking the White House and Batman versus Superman with Bruce Wayne in Gotham as the battle between Zod and Superman is destroying Gotham. I think those are the two greatest openings of comic book movies ever. It all depends on how it executes. I think the opening sequence of Doomsday is going to eclipse those. I really do.
People are going to lose their
lose their minds.
I mean, that's the funniest thing about this movie is it just comes out and plants a flag.
What the hell is this scene that's going to open and we're going to lose our minds? Is it Tobey Maguire swinging through an incursion, landing on another universe? Oh my God, what just happened? Well, our universes just melted together. Well, like what is this scene? Who was going to be a part of it? Is Iron Man alive again? Is that the secret? Like, what is going to be this mind-blowing, better than the beginning of X-Men 2 Nightcrawler in the White House scene that they've got? There have been some leaks. We shall see. But there's some people who know what the scene is going to be. And I want to be one of those people who know. I actually want to be surprised. I actually want both. I want to know everything because, it's my field. I love this stuff. But for the best possible experience, the less I know about the movie, the more better it'll be when I see the movie. So the latter will have to be the mentality that wins. Well, whatever Darius says. And when he joins this stream again, when he was just dissing on Chrome over Firefox, maybe Firefox has some problems, Darius. Maybe we shouldn't be so mad at the nine-tailed fox. Maybe we should be embracing of the fox. While we wait for him, though, let me just pop in this story. We can react to this goodness here. Martin Lawrence. All right. I like this. This is recent. Look at his joints. Look at the way he moves and grooves. Look how okay. Like he's doing okay. Way better than the last time we saw him on Damascus. That's probably when this photo on the left side came out. Martin Lawrence looking healthy. Where he's in a studio. I don't know where he is, but he's thinking activities. He's surrounding himself with nice things, nice people. Bad Boys 5 is gonna be crazy. He's gonna be the Reggie in Bad Boys 5. I'd love to see this. This is like happy news. Because dude is only 55. How old is Martin Lawrence? He did have a stroke, by the way. So I thought I could type in Martin L. and Martin Luther King started coming and showing up. What did he ever do? So it's Martin Lawrence, and he's 60 years old. 60 years old. That's beautiful. Gotta love it. You gotta love that. Martin Lawrence getting back on his fitness, all ready for another Bad Boys. We're so selfish because that's what we go to. We're also happy that he's healthy and happy that after his stroke situation and some other situations that he look at him. Look at the bounce. He's ready for the dunk contest or something? Like, this is good. At 60, yes. You reverse the effects of aging. You increasing muscles. There's a lot of correlation with long lifespans. So do that. Do that. We want to see you for longer. We're not ready to get rid of you. And I feel the same way with Samuel L. Jackson, who I was watching Entertainment Tonight yesterday. They did like a whole piece on the career of Sam Jackson, not in a eulogy sense, but basically a eulogy. Like, hey, this guy's done so much. And look at him now. Did you know he was addicted to drugs? I didn't know that. Do you know that his Sam Jackson's foot was caught in a subway train, and he sued them for like the city for like $50,000. He got like a lot of money out of that. Anyways, the more you know. I'm self-conscious about this camera and what it does to my face because of my situation over here. But so let me just turn it back. Turn it back on you, Martin Lawrence. In other celebrity news, in the sports realm, Darius wanted me to mention that LeBron James was not voted as an all-star in the NBA. For the first time, he's not going to be a starter. First time in 21 years. Could be worse. It could be a lot worse. But because he's probably he has got a good team on it with a good record. He's going to make the team. But it means he's not as popular as he once was. I don't like that. I don't like our legends going out like this. Michael Jordan had the same problem, but that's because Vince Carter was also playing shooting guard in 2002. And he's super, 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 super famous. Mind you, a lot of viewers in Canada, and all of the Raptors games are broadcasted nationally in Canada. That's a population of what, maybe 30 million people back then, of 30 million Canadians. So that you just have a little more access than your random regular NBA city with maybe a million people, if that, in the city. So the broadcast situation is why Vince could do better than Michael. But who's getting more votes than LeBron? Anthony Edwards? Who is it? Who made the team instead of LeBron James? That's actually a problem to me. More of a problem to me than anything. If there's shenanigans with the voting, if this is the NBA trying to make it so that he isn't the be all end all, then I'm gonna ask questions about that. I'm gonna have problems with that. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to say anything. I was at this point. I feel like I'm hijacking your stream, but no, I wasn't. I have nothing to say. I've missed the big Doomsday opening. Yeah, at this point, this is Chill Stream. I'm a viewer.
You can still comment on it because it was your idea to show John Campy and Robert Meyer Burnett talking. What is this secret scene that's going to open up the Avengers Doomsday movie that has all of us nervous and happy about?
I have no clue. What were you guys saying?
Let's see what you guys are saying. Whoa, whatever version of the script they know sounds phenomenal. Yes. Yes. And I want to know what the version of the script is.
I didn't even hear what John had said. I didn't hear him. I don't even know what he described.
Yeah, what they indicated to me was the sheer amount and volume of action in this thing. When you're talking in terms of minutes on screen and scope, is going to blow away everything Marvel's ever done.
Oh well, that's
and so I'm like,
no. The thing is, that's one of the things I've explained to people. I'm like, I honestly don't know how some of the stuff that's in this movie is going to be accomplished.
Now, earlier in their stream together, they also said that what's the most action? Civil War, right? That had the most action? No. Doomsday is going to have the most action in any Marvel movie, more than the ending of Endgame. Like, this movie is the superhero action movie with all the things that we want. Like, the budget is not being held. They're not being conservative with the budget here for this movie because they know they're going to make hella guap. They know that toys are going to sell and merchandise and all that stuff. This is going to be our movie. I love it. As a superhero fan, as a guy who's been in the trenches over the last 5 years with some gems, not everything was garbage, of course, but I feel like this is going to be great.
So you remember how, because I didn't know what John had said and what you guys had said or where you guys were on it. I did see some things on the Twitters about it and all that kind of stuff. You remember back when the X-Men got introduced, well, not when the X-Men got introduced, when we started seeing the behind-the-scenes photos of the X-Mansion destroyed and all that kind of stuff like that, and then it was we started just hearing about just different things, events that happen in the comics that may happen, but in the MCU version form may happen in the MCU. And one of those was, will any of these heroes be participating in the Game of Worlds, where they are going around destroying other universes before, an incursion can happen.
Like time runs out.
Yes, time runs out. And it was rumored back then when that original rumor had come out that the X-Men universe, or the X-Men in that universe, were going to be playing in the Game of Worlds. They were going to be one of the universes, the universe going around destroying, knowing about this, going around destroying other universes before their universe could be have an incursion. So the rumor here is that the opening is the X-Men destroying Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's universe. Grain of salt, don't know. But the rumor is the X-Men will reportedly destroy Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man universe in Avengers Doomsday, and that is the opening here, I guess, that they are discussing. It says the beginning of the Avengers Doomsday will already show universes colliding, incursions, and one of them will be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's universe.
I guess right, in a way. Yeah, Tobey Maguire is going to be swinging and things are going to happen to him. We're aware of the audio, by the way. Is Darius' audio coming from his webcam? It's the microphone. Sounds drowned out into his static audio. Tap on the mic. Yeah, we heard that. We just got to hope that StreamYard silences the hiss. If you bring the mic closer to your face, it'll...
Wait, what are you guys hearing?
What?
What is everyone hearing? What hiss?
You're not going to hear it, but it's happening for sure. But like I said, if it's closer to your mouth and you're louder, then StreamYard will just reduce everything by a little bit. Automatically. Auto-magically, as they say. So, no big problem, though. We can get through this stream with that. Let's cut over to... I
don't know why it's doing that.
I don't either. But as long as you keep muting yourself, we're good. So, like you said, the X-Men will reportedly destroy Tobey's Spider-Man universe in Doomsday. That could be the moment where Cyclops looks up into the sky and he just goes berserk on Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man universe. So, yeah, Tobey's in the movie and he doesn't last. That'd be a hell of an impactful death. And this is comic book art of what an incursion is. These two Earths, the barrier between universes fades, and then they crush into each other and crumble into each other. And that's how we get Secret Wars. The only thing that will exist is Battle World, a world of Doomsday's vision, a world that exists where you can have a Hulk family of Hulks. You can have a gang of Hulks, and an Old Man Logan exists here. And the characters from movie 1, 2, and 3 are all there. That's going to be cool. That's going to be superhero-y, nerdy, and a great way to begin. And that's where we are in the fandom. We're ready for this superhero stuff. Superheroes like Magneto and Charles Xavier are here. When the time inevitably comes, who do we think should play Professor X and Magneto in the mutant saga for the MCU? My short answer to this is someone I've never heard of who's got acting credentials. Someone who's been in the game for 3 decades. You get some dude who's in his 50s and you say, you're Professor X. You get some guy who's in his 50s and you say, you're Magneto. But Magneto can't be 50 years old because he's supposed to be a survivor from the 1940s. You just change it and you say his parents were survivors from the 1940s and they instilled this mindset on Magneto. you still get your Eric Lencher or time jumps shenanigans stuff. This is the science fiction genre. We can explain why he still is 50 years old while being a survivor from that if it's so integral to his character. Not a concern of mine, but you do have to cast 50-year-olds, and hopefully you don't do what DC did and got Ben Affleck for Batman. Way too high profile of an actor, way too in demand, way too many options, way too busy, not willing to sacrifice time here and there, and wouldn't sign long term for something affordable. You get some affordable ass actors in their 50s to play X and Magneto, actors I'd never heard of, is my short answer. Who you got? Darius.
You can hear it. I would go with an unknown. I would go with unknowns for all of them. You're muted. I don't know if it's just me because mine is messed up, but I can't hear you, Chill. I don't know if the chat can though.
I was muted. My mistake. I was muted. It was muted. My bad. Yeah, that was me. Sorry. I don't know. Amateur hour here. Loki has 6 new things that you got to watch, and I was mad at these guys for what they used to say about homework, and I feel like this is proper promotion. This is encouraging to go to Disney Plus and go see Loki, Brave New World, Fantastic Four First Steps. This is the way that it's done, and since I've been mad at them for not doing this, I celebrate them for doing it, for saying that there's this new promotion technique that we're going to have and direct people to the 6 things you need to watch. Let's scroll down the page and see what they say. I'm just going to get to the promotion here.
Avengers!
It's the international promo.
This is the fight of our lives.
Remind me why I like you.
Sometimes you gotta run before you can walk.
Usually life takes more than it gives me. But not today.
I choose to run toward my problems and not away from them. Because that's what heroes do.
It is our cause. It is for all of us.
The world is in our hands. It's left to us, guys. And we're gonna win. Whatever it takes. I'll take it from here. I know what I want. I know what kind of god I need to be.
We can find a way. Together.
We will face this together. We will fight it together.
Show them
Boo.
who we are.
I want you to help me rebuild the Avengers.
I believe we can do better.
I don't speak that language, but from the way that right before the show would pop up, they would have like a text. I think they said you have to watch this, and it was Loki. And it's also saying you have to watch this, and it's Thunderbolts. That's what they're promoting. They're saying go check out these six films. The promo reads,
Say about it, but hold on, keep going.
"The will shall be carried on," before jumping into the post-Infinity Saga stuff, and then closes with, "In a 2026, the Avengers are returning." Avengers Doomsday is set for release in December. The new film from Joe Russo will offer a new take on the titular superhero team, banding with groups from the multiverse. Every movie, TV show has highlighted ahead is Loki, is Fantastic Four, is Brave New World, Falcon Brave New World, Thunderbolts The New Avengers, Shang-Chi. You got to watch this one. You'll like it. And I love it. They don't have even the full title. It just says Wakanda Forever. It doesn't say Black Panther Wakanda Forever. The disrespect, bro. The amount of like no one is willing to play along with this T'Challa-less Black Panther franchise. Stripping the greatest black character to hit screens ever. Representation being crumbled and thrown away, tossed for a substitute character in Shuri, and then a substitute character in the T'Child, in the Bastard Son. They don't call it Black Panther. They call it Wakanda Forever. I used to like saying Wakanda Forever. It was cool. But then Marvel had to go and kill T'Challa. And I feel like they saying Wakanda Forever is trying to direct focus into the brand and the people, not the main character of the franchise. That's what you really liked. It was Wakanda that you really liked. And we get what we have now.
I think I fixed my issue. You can still hear it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. You said you thought this was a good idea. I don't think this is a good idea. I mean, it's not a bad idea. It's not a good idea. I think it's just a pointless waste of time. We're just trying to drag you back in because none of those films, outside of their post-credit scenes, if you want to include Brave New World's post-credit scene, have anything to do with what's going to be going on in Doomsday. They don't do anything to propel you towards Doomsday. They don't do anything nothing hints at setting up Doomsday within the films themselves. Loki is about the only thing that I would say, sure, that's a must watch because those events actually lead into what's going on with the multiverse, albeit Kang may not be there, may be there, we don't know. But what were the films? Wakanda Forever? Where does the multiverse get discussed at all in Wakanda Forever? And how do you get propelled towards Doomsday in Wakanda Forever? Because the post-credit scene doesn't do that neither. Brave New World, how are you doing that in that? You're not doing that in that. And if you want to take that post-credit scene where the leader says they're coming, something's coming, okay, sure. All right, sure. Brave, you don't need to watch that whole film. Go watch the post-credit scene. Fantastic Four, the post-credit scene. Nothing within that film propels you towards Doomsday. Shang-Chi, maybe that post-credit scene. There's a beacon going out. Does that beacon still play a role? Who knows? So I don't think that any of those things that they mentioned are must-watches for anything, unless you're just bored and you miss the MCU.
Maybe it's because the characters you need to be introduced to. Right? It's the first time you see them.
Which characters was that? The Fantastic Four?
The Thunderbolts. First time you're going to see why is Falcon wearing red, white, and blue now? Who the hell is this Shang-Chi guy? He fights with 10 rings.
Well, I would say a lot of people did see Falcon wearing a soldier. So that answers why he's wearing the red, white, and blue. Way before his film even came out. The Thunderbolts, we've seen them all in individual projects before they had their ensemble film. And I would like to think that even though the numbers don't show for Thunderbolts in the box office, everyone knows, because we've seen the post-credit scenes that have gone viral, the Avengers with the Z. So to me, that's just me. I still don't see these as a roadmap to Doomsday, because if I've never seen these films and I'm like excited for Doomsday based off of these stories that Rusev have released, and I go sit down, I dedicate a day and go watch these, I'm pissed at the end of it, because it's like, what did this? No, maybe not at the end of it. Maybe not at the end of it. Let's do this. Let's say I want to save this right before the film comes out, and I go watch all 6 of these projects, never had been seen them, and then I go watch Doomsday the same day or the next day. I'm pissed.
Yes.
Because that set me up for not shit that I'm about to go view for 3 hours.
You can do a 30-minute video on Screen Crush, which he will release on the week of Doomsday, telling you about the post-credit scene that you said in Fantastic Four. And it'll have all the things you need to know before the movie. So what they need to do is partner with YouTubers, bro. That's what they need to do. Get comics explained in the building, pay them a little something, and have them on Disney Plus break down their fan theories about what it is and make it a 30-minute show on a round table. That'll save you, man. But like I said, like this guy said, it was in Japanese. And in Japan, Brave New World pandered to the Japanese audience, and they want them to watch it. They want to be like, yo, this was the movie we made for you guys, right? You guys were all over that film, your government, this and that. We had cherry blossoms. This was your movie.
I didn't know that pandered to the Chinese demographic. I thought
It didn't. It pandered to the Japanese demographic.
Oh, Japanese. Okay, never
And
mind.
it pathetically only grossed in Japan, only made $7 million. $7 million. They don't care about Falcon.
I don't think that's just a Japan thing. I think that was an Australia thing, a Norway thing, a European thing. I think no matter where you went on the continent, it was a Brave New World who cared. We forget, I think, when talking about Brave New World, a theater did collapse while a showing was going, but no one was in the theater, so no one was hurt. So it was not a problem. It was just a problem in damages that the theater needed to fix. No one lost a life. No one was injured because no one went to view this film.
Was that on opening weekend too?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. It might have been. I don't think so.
Australia gave them $9 million, and they did not pander to Australia. When you look at Norway, it went to China. They had a Chinese release, 14 million only. Something like Black Panther had $100 million out of China. Brave New World, February release also, 14 million in China. They don't care. Where's Norway at? Just since you mentioned Norway. Here we go. Norway, only $1 million. Yeah, everyone didn't really show up for this one.
Not at all. It's a waste of time. Waste of time film. Waste of time. I mean, what you did with Giancarlo. Waste of time.
There was supposed to be a WWE champion in this movie. They cut him out.
The entire Serpent Society got cut. And then when you look at the concept art of what they would have looked like, and then you look at what they did with Giancarlo as Sidewinder, you're like, oh.
You said it didn't do well here in the UK either. Let's see what it did in England. It would be United Kingdom, right? Yeah, United Kingdom. $22 million. And if you compare that to, let's just say, Fantastic Four in the United Kingdom, right, yeah, in the United Kingdom, yeah, it made $32 million. You lot showed up for Fantastic Four, isn't it? Isn't it, bruv? Am I frozen? Do you see me?
No, you're moving.
Okay. Did my screen change? What does it show you on screen right now?
You in front of that same green.
What does it show you above, though? Like, I'm sharing the screen, aren't I?
Yes.
And what does it say?
Brave New World. Captain America's box office.
It shouldn't. I changed the screen to Fantastic Four. We got a malfunction.
Oh, that'd be a new one for this stream.
There. Okay. I think it says Fantastic Four now, right? That's what I was trying to show. $32 million from the Fantastic Four in the United Kingdom. Poppycocks.
Yeah, the difference in all those films, even though I'm saying what I said about, I still don't think they propel you toward Doomsday, but, have fun watching them if you would like. However, Doomsday is still going to, regardless, if you watch those or don't watch those, Doomsday is going to do what Doomsday is about to do. I've actually seen some videos, not like, now on my Instagram, I can't say that my Instagram is geared, or my algorithm is geared toward, there's Marvel stuff, I get Marvel stuff and things like that. Of course, I'm algorithm, things I follow that are Marvel related, but
you're more geared to the Nicki Minaj, Don Lemon stuff?
No, but it's more political, more pop culture, world stuff like that. That's normally on my algorithm. So I was scrolling through different reels or whatever, and I saw 2 reels that were just people saying how they're excited for Doomsday and they're going to sit there the entire 3 hours and don't have no babies and all this kind of stuff. And those type of videos. I hadn't seen any of those before. Now, granted, it's only 2 people that I saw, but the likes on it and the comments on it were in agreement with these people. So I was like, people are excited.
Have
I'm
to
not gonna
remember.
say I'm not like counting down the days, but I do want to see the X-Men. For sure, I want to. I mean, that's for me. That's the biggest part right now. Is I want to see the X-Men.
I think that's what my countdown the days are for. It's, man, we're getting a solid Marvel movie, 2 of them this year, because the people who are remaking the movies are capable. So it's fun not only just to have the 2-hour movie or 3-hour movie. That's not the only fun. The other fun is knowing it'll be good and anticipating it. So as we get closer, that week of Avengers Doomsday, I'm going to be in a good mood because of that week. I can't say the same for, like, let's say Star Wars Starfighter, or let's say Mandalorian Grogu. It's more recent. Unless they show me a trailer or give me reason or like change my mind about Lucasfilm, my Mandalorian Grogu hype won't be there. It'll just be kind of the day of. I'll say, "Oh, this is the day of the movie. Here, I'm gonna go to my favorite website and watch it." Like that's my enthusiasm. Make me miss going to the movie theaters to see your stuff. I have to remember, Black leads majority of the times don't sell overseas. Even Black Panther actually had a higher domestic number. That should never happen. 100%. I do remember that. So, yes, no need for me to have to remember it, Eugene. But if you're watching the stream, no matter what they tell you about, Black Panther really broke the mold. It changed the narrative, this and that. If you look at the domestic versus international, that movie did killer domestically, like 700 million. If a movie does 700 million domestically, like Avengers Endgame, it would mean that the international accumulated over $1 billion from this country and that country, and that didn't happen here with Panther. They said leave them kids at a sitter. Some I want to see. X-Men. We shall see. What about Dune, ChillMonger? What about Dune? What about Dune? What do you mean? Dune is going to do what Dune is going to do.
I don't think that's any competition at all for Doomsday. I'm sorry. And I like Dune. I really do. But that's not competition for an Avengers film at this magnitude. This is what they are attempting to pull off in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars has never cinematically been done before. So you're talking about, I mean, bro, if again, I'm the rumors leak person on the panel that I pay attention to all that kind of stuff. We're talking about when the Scoopers were talking about how the Russos have turned every hero film we've seen in the Marvel catalog on screen. That is the multiverse that they're turning in which we've already known that. We've known that through, but they're turning that into the entirety of the film here. That's why they're talking about right now, just a rumor, grain of salt, that the opening of the film is opening with Tobey Maguire's universe getting destroyed and all this kind of stuff, because it's so broad in scope. They're pulling in so many different actors that once put on whatever cowl or cape or whatever they wore, mask, whatever, and bringing them back into the fold to try to pull off what is considered one of Marvel's greatest comics of all time. So I don't think Doomsday, I don't think that's even a thing. It's still Doomsday, and Dune is just playing in the theater next to it.
Okay, someone wants to pick a fight today. Black Panther still made over 100 million in China. Fine. Allow me to compare it to Captain Marvel. That thing grossed 150 million in China. Why did a movie that did less overall? It did less overall. Captain Marvel did less. Why did it make more in China than the Black movie? That is a question that is not rhetorical. I want you to examine that. And then I want you to come back with your bullshit response. Oh, I never said there wasn't racism. I'm just trying to say it still made $1 million. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay. And then I'm going to say you were inferring that. And then you're going to go away. But thank you for your comment. China has such a large population that it should have made more than that. If we're talking about Brave New World, sure, yeah. But realistically, bro, if we're not enthusiastic about Sam Wilson wearing red, white, and blue, maybe they're not either, maybe they need to listen to the science. Maybe they should have canceled Wonder Man when people like me on YouTube expressed how bad of an idea Wonder Man was, but they don't listen. They do things in spite of what people like me think. They're trying to garner that new audience. They don't know what they're doing. Hulk, keeping it Doomsday. Mark Ruffalo confirms he will not return as Hulk in Doomsday. I would return as long as they keep finding cool things to do with the Hulk. So he says, I would return as long as they keep finding cool things to do with Hulk. Isn't he in Spider-Man, though? Like, we know he's back.
He is in Spider-Man, but the rumor currently is that he's not in Doomsday, which is what they're saying is that the events. Let me find exactly what it says so I don't get this mixed up.
I heard the same thing, that the events of Doomsday and the events of Brand New Day happen boom, boom. So it explains why you're not going to see Spider-Man in Doomsday, because they're too busy with this other problem. I guess Jean Grey and mutants and whatever else, Tombstone, all that stuff. They're dealing with that. We won't see them in the movie of Doomsday. It also is not confirmation, like Cosmic Marvel worded it. Mark Ruffalo confirms he will not return. People lie. And I'm okay with them lying. Always lie. Lie or say, I can't talk about my Marvel movie, sorry. We can only talk about what you saw in the trailer, sorry. What, Ryu, you're not coming back? Sorry, can't answer that one. Brie Larson handles it like that. This might be the first Avengers film I will not see in theaters. Well, let me ask you, Profess, what was the last Marvel movie you saw in theaters?
The rumor is Mark Ruffalo's Hulk will not appear in Doomsday because of devastating events involving the characters that occur in Spider-Man. Not that I don't think it's that they're happening at the same time, but that still could be happening that they're happening at the same time. I don't think that, I have no idea. But then it says that so whatever happens with Hulk, I guess it's going to be another whatever that he's, I don't know.
He's in another cast.
I don't know.
They could do what happened to Monica Rambeau. They are going to find themselves in another universe, and that's why they're not in Doomsday.
Could be.
Yeah. Jean Grey has a big psychic blast, and then a portal opens, and now they're in the same universe, Howard the Duck. Happens at the same time, but Yelena is in Spider-Man. Well, Yelena is in Spider-Man, and she's in Avengers Doomsday? Okay, how about this? The Spider-Man movie could be like the span of 7 months long from beginning to end. So maybe Yelena's only there in the beginning. See? Hey, you wrote again. You said saying Black Panther didn't do well in Asian countries is literally untrue since it did well in China and Korea. So y'all can keep your false narrative if you like. Okay. Did ChillMonger say it didn't do well? Or did ChillMonger compare it to a white movie and say that it didn't do well compared to Captain Marvel? Who's the one with the false narrative? Naya visited Monica. Naya? Carol and Kamala. Oh, I know what you mean. The director of the movie, Nia DaCosta, visited Monica, Carol, and Kamala on set. That happened.
Yeah, she also stated that the reading the tabloids and things and watching the drama unfold online she's like, it's not as big as what people were saying, or it wasn't anything like what people were saying between her and Marvel and Feige.
Good. I hope she's telling the truth. Right? That'd be good.
Well, she said she knew about the Steve Rogers and X-Men thing way before everybody else, and she got to walk around the Steve Rogers set, so maybe she was on good terms with him.
And she never let it slip. So, or maybe she did, because people did know about it. So who knows where that leak came from? I want to give her points for not letting that slip. Big ups to Nia DaCosta, who's got 28 years later. I will watch it for everyone that doesn't see it. LOL. Okay.
They also said that Joe Carey is rumored to be in Brand New Day. He has, I guess, been poached by Marvel, but rumor has it that was a while ago. He's now in Brand New Day. Rumor suggests he's playing Harry Osborn.
I don't care who plays Harry Osborn. The news is that Harry Osborn is there. And so Harry Osborn is not a one movie villain, a one movie character. Harry Osborn is, let's build. Let's have him appear here. Let's have him change his mind there. Let's have him explode into the villain he's supposed to be in the third movie. And not save him for Miles or whatever foolish ideas they may have. Because Miles doesn't have many of his own villains. Star Wars time. I lied. We still got one more Marvel thing to talk on. And that's on Luke Cage coming to the Daredevil. Are you happy? Mike Coulter was asked if he would turn to Luke Cage in the MCU. Listen, I will say this. I've had conversations, and I'll leave it at that. Finally. I'm not mad at it. I'm also realistic, and it's not a leading role because he has melanin on his skin. Melanin. So we're not going to get the Luke Cage movie. If we get it, it'll be a $30 million budget Disney Plus show.
Yeah, well, it definitely wouldn't be a movie.
Why? Because he's got melanin on his skin, or is there another reason why?
No, because the character's not a box office name like that. That's not even a debatable thing. That Luke Cage is not a box office name.
Yeah, he's not a box office name like that. But when you do a movie about Nova coming up, or when you do a movie about who all these other not box office names, Doctor Strange, as they've done in the past, I'm trying to how much water does that hold? That it was not a box office name, right? Blade is a box office name, and it's not getting a movie either.
Yeah, the difference in those heroes and things that you named is Nova's a cosmic hero. So the things that you can do with Nova on a silver screen are much larger than the things that you're going to do with Luke Cage on a movie screen. Luke Cage they've already given and shown that they are willing to do him as a leading man. They did it on, granted this wasn't Marvel Studios, this was Netflix, but they'd already had a show. And if we're still going off of the same timeline here from the first season of Daredevil, this is congruent with the Netflix series. So he is the same Luke Cage from the Netflix series. So it's just that he doesn't get a TV show because Daredevil's got, I mean, these are more street level characters. Marvel already said they're not going to give Avengers TV shows any longer, but characters like Daredevil, characters like Jessica, characters like Luke Cage, yeah, they'll get TV shows, but that's not a box office thing.
And since it's not box office, and since they're doing TV shows, my excitement is going to be at the level of TV shows. What have your TV shows been recently? Well, I haven't watched the last 5. I didn't watch Agatha or Echo. I didn't watch these. I'm kind of like, all right. Oh, a Daredevil TV show? All right. Like, sure. I'll say nice things because it's Daredevil in the lead. I said Daredevil, my bad. Luke Cage. It's Luke Cage in the lead. Sure. I'll probably check it out too. I'll probably encourage others to check it out, but not to the level that you'll get when you recast T'Challa and you put him on screen. Not so it'll be a different. It'll be scaled with how much effort you're putting in. And don't let me find out this is going to be the lowest budgeted TV show if Luke Cage is indeed back on TV, which he doesn't say here. He just says he has conversations. And the conversations could be, you're going to be in season 3 of Daredevil. You're going to be in an episode. Come here. You matter. You're important. Your episode comes in February.
Whatever they offered him must have been the right numbers. Either that or he's broke. At first he said he didn't want to. He said he'd never come back. Now
you got to say that just so that they pony up. You got to tell them how much you don't need this job, and then they get you. I actually think Marvel and let's just say Lucasfilm and Disney too. They make it so Daisy Ridley can't find jobs doing, big, huge things, so they can use her in Star Wars. They tell the whole industry, yo, she's off limits. You can't use her. Same with like Vin Diesel. Don't put him in anything big. No, he's our guy. And we can't have him fighting and using a leverage of how he's a big star for the next contract of Fantastic Four. Same with Game of Thrones. You better not use Kit Harington and Sophie Turner in anything huge. Only give them smaller movies and things that don't have huge budgets, because one day we're going to offer them money to come back for Game of Thrones. And we can't have them say that, well, they're worth more money. We got to be able to prove how, since you left our studio, no one's been giving you a job. That's like how it is probably with Chris Evans, because he's had a very quiet few years since Endgame. I think that the studios put out a hit and they just communicate with each other. Nothing big for Mark Ruffalo. Nothing big for so-and-so. Agreed? Just agree. Just say, yeah, I agree with you, ChillMonger. Studios are on some fuck shit.
I don't agree, but maybe. If you have a theory.
Well, Mike Coulter hasn't been in anything. Luke should definitely at least get his own TV show. I could say that for everyone should at least get a TV show. So I aim for movies.
No. Not everyone should get a TV show.
Okay, everyone. You're right. You're right. I said the word everyone. That's the wrong word to use. Not everyone. We all want to see Luke Cage fight Dr. Doom over that 200. What? Chris Evans chooses to be low-key. Oh, he chooses not to be in these huge movies? That's what I would say if I wasn't getting the big movies. Next, Pitch Black is going to be Vin versus The Rock. Mike has a show. Mike Coulter has a show? What is it? I think a Power Man and Iron Fist film could work on the big screen. I wouldn't group him in with Iron Fist. I would have Iron Fist show up as a supporting character of Power Man's movie.
The only way you could get
Uh-huh.
films like that on to be at the level that you're wanting Marvel films to be back at. So we're talking back during the Infinity Saga, things like that. In fact, when everybody started picking up the steam of wanting to be on the Marvel train, the only way an Iron Fist thing like that works, because it would have worked, you got to have that 2019 era vibe again, when everybody wanted to watch everything and consume everything Marvel, regardless of what it was. You do a Power Man Iron Fist film like that now, it just you couldn't get people to come see recognizable names that they've been watching. Now, granted, the Fantastic Four is not one that they've been watching, but you couldn't get people out to see Anthony Mackie, who's been here since Anya left. You couldn't get people out to see the Thunderbolts, and some of those characters have been showing up. You couldn't get, so it's like, I don't think so. I think when we're talking future films for Marvel, and I'm talking the next 10 years, I'm not talking the next 5 years. I'm talking the next 10 years of Marvel, you need to go with the heavy hitters. You tried this. You tried this with lesser known characters, and you see where it left you. And now we're here talking about if a Doomsday film is going to even be having debates. I don't think it's a debate, but having debates with people if a Doomsday film is going to be profitable for Marvel or be profitable at all. So while these conversations are happening, I think 10 years down the line, we can say, oh, yeah, sure, let's put Luke Cage on the big screen. Let's see where Marvel is 10 years down the line and put an Iron Fist on the big screen. But now, absolutely not.
Yeah, simply putting them on the big screen, absolutely not. But something like when Captain Marvel's logo showed up on Nick Fury's device, that made people want to see the Captain Marvel movie. If you give Luke
Different
Cage
era.
something like that in Infinity War and in Doomsday and Secret Wars, and you make me want to see Luke Cage, I might actually check out the Luke Cage movie as just that casual viewer, because they really talked about Luke Cage a whole lot in that movie. He seemed important in that movie. All right, let's go. Same with Black Panther. They talked about him in Civil War and they showed him and he was cool. It kind of introduced people and enthusiasmed people to see Black Panther. It can be done with builds, but not just dropping him.
I don't know. On one hand, we have conversations where we all agree that the last 5 years have been shit and that no matter what they do, they're going to be in this hole until they figure it out. On the other hand, we're sitting here saying, I think if you drop certain subtle hints in certain movies, then people want to go watch. I don't understand that. They didn't watch for 5 years. They didn't watch for 5 years, and we're expecting if we drop, and we're saying, hey, let's drop some subtle hints like we did with Captain Marvel, which was a completely different era. By the way, completely different era. We were stoked for Infinity War. Everyone, people that never picked up a Marvel comic were excited to see characters that they never grew up with, never read about, but only heard about 10 minutes ago on somebody's YouTube channel. We're not in that era.
I don't think we're in that era. Were you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Well, I don't want a subtle hint of Luke Cage. I want a significant movie where many people are going to be watching it to see Luke Cage in a more than a subtle hint and put respect on him so that those people will transfer over, because so many people are watching Doomsday and so many millions are watching Secret Wars. They'll watch Power Man Luke Cage.
Again, disagree. If this were Infinity War, yes. If this were Endgame, yes.
And because it's not Infinity...
No, go ahead.
Because it's not Infinity War and Endgame, it won't have the same return on that investment in the boosting up Power Man. But it will still be a return. It'll still be a profitable movie. Instead of 1.1 billion like Captain Marvel made, maybe it only makes 900 million in this Luke Cage scenario, which I'm giving you. Maybe because Luke Cage was promoted in a time where Marvel wasn't hitting on all cylinders, it only makes 900, 800 million. Well, with the correct budget, $800 million is profitability.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, sure. I don't see that. I don't even see it making that. I don't. I mean, even if you were to do it in a Doomsday film, you have to understand why people are even gravitating toward Doomsday in a failing Marvel era. So even if all these people are going to Doomsday, and from what we're seeing chatter online, you got people split between Steve and coming back. People are still going to go see the film regardless. People split between Steve coming back. You got people excited about the X-Men, and then X, Y, and Z on the other trailers that have come out, or stories that have come out. Unless I don't see, and I see Doomsday and Secret Wars being massively successful. At least that's what I think. Even with that mass success, I still don't think Marvel's out of the woods. They are not out of the woods where they can say, "Oh God, exhale, woo." No. Last 5 years, let's get a whoo, God, good job, everybody. We did it. They're not out of the woods. They're not out of the woods. They still got a long road to go to prove that they can even carry a new saga and get people interested in that saga, being the X-Men saga. Can you do the X-Men the way everybody wanted to see the X-Men done? And I don't see people coming to see a film about Luke Cage that early on out of Doomsday and Secret Wars, because they're still out of the woods. It's like, oh, that was so dope. We saw all these cool characters that were so dope, mainstream characters. Hey guys, our next film's Luke Cage. What the fuck?
Yeah, it would be the wrong movie to make.
Yeah, way to slow the goddamn steam is what the fans would be like. They'd be like, here they go. They didn't learn the last 5 years. We're gonna exit again. You need to go with heavy hitters. You need to go with big names. You need to go with names that are going to get people's asses in the seats. Then 10 years, as I said earlier, 10 years after a new saga has been successful and you got Marvel back on everybody's brains.
10 years? Sure. 10 years from now?
10 years from now. You need to go with heavy hitters. He doesn't have to be on the big screen. You can, within that 10 years, put his ass on Disney Plus.
Can I change that 10 years to after 6 good movies in a row, or let's give them one flop. Let's say 6 out of 7 movies are loved. If you can do that, I could say Marvel's back. That would only take 3 years.
Maybe you could say that. I could give you that. I say 10 years because I think they need a successful saga to where people can say, "Oh my God, that was incredible." Where you've got people like, I mean, again, you talk about, when we talk about YouTube channels and things like that, people's YouTube careers were made off of Infinity War.
Oh, big time.
Off of Infinity War. I can't say that could happen for Doomsday right now. I don't see that same hype that,
Hey, but people made careers out of Last Jedi. That's the total opposite.
That's true too. That is very true too. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I'll give the 6 movies. I just say 10 years. Like I said, I think they need a successful saga.
Luke Cage might be one of those I think of recasting still. I don't necessarily need Mike Coulter there, and if I can get someone 10 years younger. Anyways, I don't. You know what, Mike Coulter? Let's not get you out of the job. Let's keep you for continuity's sake. They got no big plans for you, anyways. You're not gonna make a movie with him. Blue Marvel is my movie. Of the next black character you launch, or Storm. So, someone who warrants the big budget, but like we know, those movies will not happen at all.
See, now that's Blue Marvel is one I think you could do.
But they won't.
No, I know they won't. But if marketed right, because of the power set, because of, I don't know if you could, personally, where would you start it though? Would you want to do in this current MAGA Trump era? Would you want to do the civil rights era story where white folks feel like they're apologizing and, oh my God, we're being attacked anti-Semites again, that our ancestors were colonizing bad warmongers and So would you want to? Where would you pick up the story with Blue Marvel then? Now I think it would work because of his power set for sure. I mean, he's one of the Supermen of Marvel, so I think it would definitely work. But just where does the story pick up? Do you do the whole Kennedy era where they're calling him in saying, "Hey, nigga, we didn't know you was a nigga till you took off that mask, so we're gonna need you to retire"?
They're not going to be ready for a black superhero. What do the racists say about that? Why would they put that in the movie? We are ready. What is the con calling us racist? How do you complain about that one? How do you, without telling on yourself? How do you complain about that? What happened to all the movies that didn't talk about being ready?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm not racist. Can't get in their minds. I'm good at getting in the minds of white liberals, though, knowing how they act and how they're going to say, Wonder Man, you've got a black superhero, guys. Why aren't you supporting it? Huh? Huh, guys? A black superhero. Yaya Abdul-Mateen, you guys remember him? He was Black Manta. Now he's White Wonder. I think 2020 was the best time for Blue Marvel. Yeah, in a way you're right, but then think about how long it takes to put something in development, get it ready. By the time we get it out, it'll be right now. And if it was happening right now, it's exactly the situation Darius is telling you about. MAGA, who they've been pandering to. Disney really wants their dollars. No way I'll still think Marvel's going to give us black-led movies after Cap 5 was sabotaged. There was a Cap 4?
I don't think Marvel's giving black-led anything.
Yeah, we don't think that.
Now, do I have wishes? Of course. But do I think for sure? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
If you want black-led, turn on Amazon Prime and watch Cross. Go watch what's that movie? Relationship Goals with Kelly Rowland and Method Man. But don't look over at Marvel for black leads. Let's jump over to the Game of Thrones world. Another place leans extremely Caucasian. At least they've got the historical kind of reasoning for why. George R.R. Martin on his relationship with Ryan Condell. It's worse than Rocky. It's abysmal. I thought Ryan and I were partners. Then we got into season 2 and he basically stopped listening to me. It also noted that George and Ryan disagreed on the direction of season 3.
Yeah, I think this is an issue. My thing with George is he just came out and said something about the whole poop scene at the beginning of Knights of the Seven Kingdoms and how he didn't write that, and he's like he put in the notes what's this, and it's not to say that my characters don't take poops, but blah blah blah. I'm like George. Go finish the fucking book. Go finish Winds of Winter, because what are you're giving notes on stuff that doesn't matter. Now on this part, I agree with George here. Now this dude disagreeing with him, the showrunner disagreeing with him and not taking his direction, wrong. How you disagree on the direction something's gonna go, that somebody, he's the creator of it, he made it. Without him, there would be no direction for you to even go in. So it's like, how are you disagreeing on how his story should go? He's telling you how it is, and you're telling him, "Oh no, I don't." It's like that's like you taking your car to the mechanic and saying, "Oh, you're having engine problems." No, I think it's my brakes. What? How are you disagreeing with the maker? So no, I find this as a big issue moving forward into the next few seasons, especially if you know the story.
Of course. And I love when the creators speak up and speak out against the BS, when they're not afraid of anything, because he is an author first. Just like Tomi Adeyemi, she did Children of Blood and Bone. She will speak up if the movie producer does something or something like that. I love it. J.K. Rowling is another one like that. When the creatives are not afraid of losing their job or anything, because they're not worried about, well, if you speak out against the movie studios and the way things are handled and other writers, and if you speak out and you show that there's not unity in the house, it means it's going to cost you a job. George R.R. Martin doesn't care. HBO is knocking on his door every week with adapting a book here or something that happened in his tale that he has written. And when you have that kind of power, you will shoot back at Ryan Condell. Guy, I didn't even know his name until now. So George, yeah, what Darius says, get back to writing your book, but good that you're going to be vocal. We get to hear it for what it is. I'm Too Fly says, keep crying, R.R. Martin. Your IP has been colonized, old man. That's harsh. Like a horse. Jay says, I agree with George on them messing up that blood and cheese scene in House of Dragon Season 2. You know who else spoke up recently? Who had a little something to say over on Twitter? Because a certain somebody thought that she could mention his name. My man, Ryan Johnson. In the tweet, in the word that I muted, whoa, I think I muted the word Ryan Johnson. He quotes them and he says, LOL, zero spooked. Sorry. Kathleen Kennedy lied. She, on her way out, thought she could say in the exit interview, the Ryan Johnson movie's not happening. It's all those fans who spooked him. He says, nope. He says, I wasn't spooked. Ryan Johnson is not afraid. He's got knives out. He's got his door being knocked on by all the studios. He's not concerned about this trilogy they keep dangling in front of him. That's not actually going to happen. This Star Wars trilogy that he pitched. And then they said, oh, that's a great idea. Why don't you do Last Jedi, Ryan? You can do whatever you want to do. You can even change the way Force Awakens ends. Luke was supposed to be on the cliff, rocks floating. He's using the Force. Ryan says, nah, change that movie, JJ. But now here comes Ryan Johnson. Stupid Star Wars movie and all. But he stands up for himself when he's being made to be a baby by Kathleen Palpatine. I was not spooked. 10 points to Gryffindor. Team Ryan, right?
No, not Team Ryan. I don't think that he. I don't believe he was spooked either, because he definitely wanted to make the those other ones. No, definitely not Team Ryan. He definitely wanted to make those other ones, but it wasn't a spook thing. I think it was more just so. I mean, you made a really shitty film, despite her saying he made a fantastic film. I think, and then granted, box office wise, wasn't it the highest grossing of the three? I believe it is. I believe it's the highest grossing of the three. Box office wise, yeah, the numbers are there. But what it did to the fandom, what that film single-handedly did to the fandom where Star Wars is today. Despite what people say, I know there are sequel lovers in the chat. That's fine. You can love it, but let's be real. That film is the film that divided the fandom.
Sure.
To its core, to where we are today.
And I still like his tweet. As bad as that was, he tweeted what he needed to tweet for when he said what needed to be said.
Yeah, I think the studio didn't want Ryan to make another one. I know that Kathy said that they had a great relationship and things like that, blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, just realistically, if Ryan would have made another sandbox, I'm thinking him pissing in the sandbox. But if he would have made another Star Wars film, man, no. No. I think they knew that, and I think that's why. I don't think it was a spook thing either. I think he's right. Nope, I wasn't spooked. I was ready to go to ruin some more. But I think they moved away.
Yeah. I know. That's right. Damon says they did Star dirty. They did Star Wars dirty. Ruin Johnson was complaining on social media all day long after his crap movie came out. He is a divider. This is not a man who's got thin skin. He embraces it. B.S. Ryan is lying. He was definitely scared after Last Jedi came out. I don't think so. I was helping a customer, so I only just caught the tail end. But why are you celebrating a man that couldn't get off his ass to finish his story, Chill? George Martin? I respect that he wrote things. I always thought George R. R. Martin was waiting until he dies before releasing the books, but I guess that's wrong, lol. You may not be wrong. We may find out whether he's waiting to die. You know, you never know, bro. Dude is in his 70s. And I hope he lives long and prosperous. I'm not aiming for an early death, a quick exit strategy, nothing like that. Okay. Salute to Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson's going to stay on the green screen for the rest of the stream.
That's fine as long as you're using it.
What if I put him on your screen? Oh, he's there.
I was gonna say, I don't think you can do that.
How many more things we got to talk about today? The James Gunn stuff, we haven't really entered that yet.
No, he just went in on a bunch of rumors.
Over on Threads. All the rumors about Batman and Wonder Woman auditions are false. Okay, James Gunn, but you're a liar, so that means that they could be true. The big news about Man of Tomorrow was the appearance of Brainiac. Aside from that, most of the major cast are characters we've already met. They are currently casting smaller roles. Okay, so you admit that Brainiac is in it. Last time you lied and said he wasn't. There will be no updates on the Brave and the Bold until the script is finished. Also, he doesn't want it to clash with the Batman Parts 2. The term he used was, I don't want to cloud the Bat Sphere until after the Batman 2. Okay, I got nothing wrong with that. Sure, spread things apart. Darius?
Nothing wrong with that.
Smart decision. And maybe that's not even his decision. Maybe that's coming from WB. Now it says, many DCU projects are close to being greenlit. One unknown project has already been. Interesting. What is it? Unknown project? Is it Booster Gold? Like, what is the unknown project?
It's not a member of the Justice League.
Because it's James Gunn?
Yeah, he's not focused on that. It's not a member of the league. So therefore, it is going to be another question mark as to, for me, I can't speak for everybody. For me, it's going to be a question mark as to why.
The top 5 DC characters are Superman, Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman, let's say Green Lantern. We only have one in the movies. James Gunn, please get a second. Please get a second top 5 superhero in your movies. If you can't do Batman, do Wonder Woman. Dog, even top 10. If we dip it, like who's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? I would say Shazam. Maybe Robin.
Are you saying who the members of the league should be? 7?
You think there should only be 7 league members? Well, you can. What?
Personally, no, I don't think there should only be 10 or 7. I think you should do Justice League Unlimited, but that's just me being greedy. But if you do 7, what do you think? How many are in the original before they go unlimited?
7.
Okay, and then what were you thinking? What names were you thinking?
The names I'm thinking of isn't really like Justice League, because Aquaman could be one of the characters who are characters 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 in like DC's ranking of top characters. And he's not doing Aquaman or Robin or Shazam or let's say Green Arrow, maybe? No, he's doing Supergirl. I think she may be top 10. So he's got 2 characters who are top 10 DC franchises.
The members should be Wonder Woman, Kal-El, Batman, Flash, Martian Manhunter. I would go Shazam over
Aquaman,
Yeah.
Hawk Girl.
I would go Shazam over Hot Girl, but then everybody's gonna be like, there's only one girl in the lineup. But I would go Shazam over Hot Girl and then put GL personally, and then bring Hot Girl in with Hawkman personally. That would do.
And I just want to see the characters, whether they do a Justice League movie or not. I just want to see the guys I care about who historically are going to be used often. And if you're not doing that, fine. How about a black superhero like Mr. Terrific getting his own movie? No, you're not doing that. Well, like, expect me to complain when you do Clayface and Sergeant Rock and Mr. Miracle, and you're not doing Mr. Terrific, and you make him. Now, his supporting character roles are good, but when you only make him a supporting character, I'm gonna be waiting for the Black-led TV show or movie, specifically movie. More from this thread. He confirms that they are casting a female character for Man of Tomorrow. Scoopers probably assumed it was Wonder Woman. Who would he cast then? Supergirl?
Man of Tomorrow?
That's what I would do.
Probably is Supergirl.
Yeah,
I don't
makes
think
sense.
it's Diana.
Makes sense. I'm not mad at that one. I also wouldn't have made a Supergirl movie coming out of, the beginning of DC Studios, but okay, let's do Supergirl and Superman in one movie. And Sam McCurdy will be the cinematographer for Man of Tomorrow. He worked on both seasons of Peacemaker, Shogun, and Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. Thumbs up. You?
Yes.
Yeah, so I had to move my face, show you that Ryan Johnson if you disagreed. Okay. There won't be a trailer for Clayface for the next couple of months. James Gunn hasn't seen the film yet, which is in its first cut. It's still scheduled for release in September. That's kind of worrisome. Dog, what are you doing if not watching? Like, are you working on Peacemaker? Watch Clayface's first cut. I hope that doesn't backfire. I hope that he will have a fresh take when he watches the second cut, and he'll be able to offer insight that the other directors and the other producers didn't, because he's keeping fresh eyes. I hope that's what that means.
With James.
Yeah, it seems unconventional not to have watched the first cut of the Clayface movie. So, and the trailer not coming for the next couple of months, I'm fine with, because this is an October movie, so we're good with there. Gunn states that he won't have 2 Batman movies coming out in the same year. Okay, smart. His final answer states that he's going back to working on storyboards right now. I would like to know what the storyboards were, but sure. Get back on those storyboards, James. We're rooting for you, even though we call you a liar and we disagree with some of the stuff that you do. We're still rooting for you to succeed because we are lovers of the genre. Thank you, James. Peacemaker was cool. Oh, it could be Zatanna? Yeah, Zatanna is pretty loved. Maybe she's right outside the top 10, but she's liked.
She's liked a lot. I like Zatanna.
And if you're doing Justice League, dog, I don't need all 7 of the Justice League members to be the heavy hitters. You can squeeze in a Martian Manhunter and a Hawk Girl, as long as the other 5 are like significant.
Do you consider Martian Manhunter a heavy hitter?
No, I don't. Is he top 10? Like, I can name 10 superheroes bigger than Martian Manhunter in DC. He's not a D-lister either, okay? He's not garbage. Vixen. I could see Vixen as a member of the Justice League, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that extra spot on the Justice League movie, which we're imagining is going to happen, like 3 years from now, they do Justice League. Yeah, we know who the heavy hitters are. We know who those big 5 are going to be. We know. We've heard them. We've seen them. But you can squeeze in 2 characters. Like who's your Black Widow and Hawkeye, you know? Yes to Vixen. I like that. and maybe she can build to her own movie.
I think you have Tiana Taylor play Vixen. I like
Yeah,
that.
Oscar award-winning Tiana Taylor plays Vixen. Yeah. Golden Globe Award. My bad. He can still win the Oscar, though. I saw a lot of people talk. Sorry, you weren't supposed to see me changing topics, but I saw a lot of people talking about Tiana Taylor winning it is like Denzel winning it when he played a shitty character. He didn't win it for Malcolm, or with like Halle Berry winning it for Monster Ball. They gave her the award where she was playing a bad character, and I don't value the award very much to engage with this one. But fine, like, so be it. Yes, that's what they did. They waited for her to play someone crappy, and they immortalized her. I guess that's what happened. She has an award, and theoretically, with the exception of Monique, theoretically, now that you're an award winner, you should be in demand to be playing Vixen and everyone else. She didn't play a bad character. What are you talking about? Morally and ethical. When I said bad, that's what I meant. Not like her acting capabilities. The character she was with, the character that she played was not uplifting, inspirational, the kind of girl you want your daughter to be. That's what I meant when I said bad. But she acted well, yes. And look, the white institutions awarded her for that one. So that's the conversation. That was her job. Yes, it was. I'm with you, Lawrence. I'm not in disagreement here. Moving on. Translate this thing. The next MCU saga will feature, according to reports, 2 actors portraying Wolverine. A new actor for the Wolverine and X-Men, and Hugh Jackman as old Logan.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's great. I want to see Toby. I want to see Tom. I want to see Jean Grey Femke. I want to see Jean Grey Sadie Sink.
No, I think we need to stop this. Because when you do this, this is how you get the Chadwick Boseman stuff that's going on with not recasting. We're trying too hard to continue to tie these characters to people that have been these characters forever. Once we get into the reboot and we started the new X-Men universe, I don't think we need 2 Jeans. What do we need 2 Jeans for? Why? What do we need 2 what do we need 2 Logans for? Why? Are we still doing the multiverse thing? I just don't understand why we need 2 Jeans. Why we need, like, oh, that's Momkey's Jean. Oh, okay, well, that's the new Jean. I just think it gets to I'm so over it. I'm over it. Like, again, if this were 2019 time where you were getting me excited about the movie, I'd be like, oh, yay, let's get through Doomsday, bring them all back, kill them, do whatever the fuck you're doing with them, start fresh. I don't think we need to continue to see the same faces as these people.
I gotta see what the story is. Most of me agrees. Hugh Jackman, thank you for coming. Bye. New guy should be in Wolverine's shoes for the next saga of Marvel movies. That's what I would do if I'm in charge. But Old Man Logan is such another character. He's almost another character completely. So I'm not opposed.
I agree. I'm just saying, listen, until you're 90 thing.
I want to see them hand it off, and a nice handoff, a nice transition. Blade used to be played by Wesley Snipes, so Wesley Snipes will be in Secret Wars, and he gets to see whoever the new Blade is. Maybe they fight the alien threat together, back to back. Like, that would be cool. I'd like to see different versions, all 3 Spider-Man, like we saw. I'd like to see them interact. But this tweet said saga. That's the word that I'm going to focus on. The next MCU saga will feature 2 actors playing Wolverine. Just Wolverine. That's the only guy I'll accept for the new saga. For the new Secret Wars movie, sure, man. Show me X-23. Show me all the X's together, fighting as one. Show me all the Hulk, Eric Banner. I said Eric Banner, Eric Bana, Hulk. I want to see everyone who's ever played him, including Lou Ferrigno, in the multiverse, fighting off. Give me that. Then, no more. We got new X-Men in the house. That's what I'd do. Just close the doors on the multiverse stuff so we can move on to the mutant saga. They need to make a clean break. Hey, Xavier Phoenix. And you, Darius, you called it the X-Men saga earlier. He's calling it the mutant saga. Don't name the saga. It'll only hurt you. Don't say, we're done the multiverse saga. The next saga is called the mutant saga. Because once you do that, every fan complaining can say, why are they doing that? I thought it was the mutant saga. Why? I thought it was the mutant saga. Just name your saga when it's all done. Just say you're in phase 7. That's all you gotta say.
Marvel can't disappoint me anymore. If there's something that Marvel could do that would be disappointing to me, I've been disappointed by Marvel. Whatever they do is what they do.
Speak into the mic.
So Marvel can't disappoint me anymore. Whatever they do is what they do. That's what I've learned with the MCU.
Gotcha. And then earlier, Eugene says there's no pleasing some black people. I think you mean that for the Teyana Taylor getting the Golden Globe, but she was not playing an inspirational character. It's still worth noting that she wins the award for playing a character of that ilk. It's still worth noting. And when they add up and there's a pattern there, I wouldn't say, oh, there's no pleasing some black people. Strive for the best, striving for awesome representation. How many more news stories did we have to cover? We did Ryan Johnson. We did the Star Wars thing. I think we're towards the ending of the stream, aren't we? Of all of our topics. Darius?
I said, yes, I believe so.
Well, I want to change topics to one more topic. Earlier last week, we talked about a Kickstarter that I saw on my Instagram page. And this Kickstarter's creator has now joined the stream. Let's get the audio right to Alex Bassett. Hello.
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Let me get your name there too. Alex Bassett. Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Damn, you got a cool background. Where are you?
I'm in Panama, actually.
That's cool. So, the way we'll begin this is tell everyone who you are, why we're here. We'll go 15, 20 minutes, and then when this is done, I'll clip it and then I'll post it as an individual video, so not just the 30 people who are watching live. Some other people can get to see your Kickstarter, what you're all about, and hear it from yourself. So this was it. Let me share that screen. It's ready. Okay, cool. Yo, it's ChillMonger. It's Darius. We're joined by Alex Bassett. Now we got to talk about your Kickstarter. So how do we begin? Do you want us to play the video on the Kickstarter, or do you want to intro it up, Alex?
Let the people see something first. I think they're gonna like it, and then we can start.
Okay, then. Let me full screen it. Let me share it.
Hey everyone, Alex Bassett here.
Let me share it. Amateur hour. Okay, there we go.
And I am the writer, creator, and director of the Kazi Village Rescue. This project has been over 2 years in the making, and I'm excited to finally get this done with your help. The story of the Kazi is an exciting, epic adventure following our hero, Andreas, as he must save the world from corruption. Village Rescue will follow Andreas on one of his side quests to investigate a mysterious threat to a local village community. While at that village, he must partner with an unlikely sidekick to face a menacing threat that's going to destroy the entire region. The story of the Kazi was inspired from my island heritage growing up in the island of Bermuda, filled with many fantastical elements to make the world even more interesting and appealing to today's viewers. When I was younger, I always wanted to see more characters on the screen that looked like me, telling stories about cultures that were very similar to my own. The Kazi is a love letter to my island culture and a love letter to the entire community that raised me and many others. This campaign is going to need your full support in order for this dream to come true. So far, we have created the draft storyboards for the animation. Starting in January, we will be finalizing these storyboards. But if we don't have the remainder of the funds by February for the entire production, we will not be able to continue the project. All of the funds that are going into this campaign are going to go straight into production so that we can make this happen. To make this film, we're going to be partnering with Nanny Moko Studios in Vancouver, who has an impressive resume, being a Leo Award winner and have worked on many Disney and Netflix shows and animated series themselves. If you like seeing stories from small communities or Caribbean-inspired stories come to life, this is your project to be a part of. We're excited to bring some amazing rewards to all of our backers who support us on this journey. You'll have access to limited edition artwork, merchandise, music, and even to our top supporters, a limited edition figurine of our hero Andreas himself. We can't wait to see this film on the silver screen to inspire the next generation of adventurers and explorers out there all around the world. Thanks for your time, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.
All right.
That's your pitch. But why should I care? I just saw that, okay, you're looking for $30,000. Why should I care?
Yeah, totally. So I wanted to make an animated short film or even a story really that spoke to people that were from the islands initially. So I'm from Bermuda, like I was saying in the video, and I grew up watching a lot of, TV in America, like American shows. Didn't see a lot of like Black people, period. And then I saw probably next to none that were people from the Caribbean. There's been a huge renaissance of like Black shows and film recently, and I'm like, the Caribbean has a lot of these stories that need to come forth, and so I wanted to add my hat to the ring and say, support more Black Caribbean stories. Yeah.
Sorry. What stood out to me was you said that you were working on the storyboards and the drafts already. Like you've done some work yourself. You're not just here.
Yes.
You're not just saying, hand out, here comes the money. Can you tell me what you've invested in? Like, why should I? Because this is a real question. This isn't like an antagonistic question. I really do feel like this way. There's a guy looking for a Kickstarter, looking for money. Hey guys, I care about representation. Okay, but what did you sacrifice? What did you actually put in?
Yeah, totally. I've spent almost about 8,000 to 10,000 USD already, not including like a lot of the other stuff for designing the characters and whatnot. So yeah, I'll just run off. This project started about 4 years ago with me writing this. I spent probably 200 hours just writing the story in general first. Then had to spend even more money to design the character, some of the village, the setting, and world building or concept art aspects as well. So that was money too. Then had to work with 2 different animation studios to get the right feel for what the character's movements should look like, the correct style. Was it going to be 2D? Is it going to be 3D? Is it going to be tradigital, like hand drawn, which is a bit more anime style? Or is it going to be, let's say, a 2D rig, which was the video that you just saw? So that took a few years of trial and error just to get here. And so, yeah, I've easily spent probably like $8,000 just over the last few years just to get to this point. And so what the next part is for people to, if people donate or pledge to this Kickstarter, we can actually get this short film made. Now, to touch on your other point, where we're at, the project has already started, so we're in pre-production. So what that means is the storyboards have already been started. You saw a little bit of that in the video. And we have the finalized script. We have the characters down pat. And yeah, we have the storyboards to show what action is actually going to be happening in this short film.
What's
And
the length of
so
this? How long do you think it'll be, roughly?
about 3 to 4 minutes.
The whole thing is 3 to 4 minutes, like the whole short film,
Yes.
with the laser pointing at the kid's forehead. That whole story is a 3-4 minute short.
Yeah. So what you saw, that's a proof of concept trailer. So that's what we initially had to start with. That is not going to be the final quality of the short film. The short film is going to be much better quality. Think of something that you'd see on a streaming platform. His model there at that point, that's going to be the model that we're likely going to be using for the short film. But all these bits here are proof of concepts that I've done over the years to say, this is the kind of high level quality that we're aiming for, but the end product is going to be better, just to show people a bit of what the story overall.
That's nice to hear. Because when I saw the running sideways thing earlier here, I didn't think this was worthy, but you're telling me that it'll improve. It actually does improve later on in the trailer here. This part does look like it's better animated and better drawn and better period. So that's good to hear. That's good to hear. That's not the final product. Okay, Alex. Okay. What else can I ask you that I want? Well, what's probably the most important thing for you to say before I ask you some more of my questions? What do you want people to know here?
What I want people to know is that even just on the animation journey, people might see the figure and they're like, that's a lot of money for 3 minutes. Trust me when I tell you, animation is very expensive because there's a lot of people that are involved with it, and there's a lot of time that it takes to bring this to life. This project, I think, is the beginning of something really big. There's a whole world that I'm building as a part of the project, and this is starting with a short film, but what's coming next in the future could be something along the lines of a graphic novel. It could be something along the lines of a short series that continues on after where this short film ends up. So this is more or less the beginning of future works to come if people support the project.
Graphic novel is like your first go-to place? That's probably where you'll take it?
It's my second. I bring it up because it's something that a prospective producer brought to me. He said, do you want to do a series? I really want to keep all this animated. I really would, just because I like.
Be seen by more people than who read comic books or graphic novels.
Exactly. But to him, and he's thinking about it more from a funding perspective. Animation is a bit harder to fund in this new age of AI, and distributors are not spending as much as they used to just because money's a little tighter. So they were trying to open my mind up to non-animation things. But for me, if it was up to me, I would make a short form series to keep the budget a little lower and to get more episodes out there to people to show them the story of what we really have here.
So after this is produced and you have it, it's finished, it's a final product. Next is what? Selling it to an audience, like or a streamer. Where is the best place for a 3-minute short to perform to spawn these opportunities we want in the future? Where does it go afterwards? Does it go on YouTube for free? Like that? Are you aware of the comic shop, that Kickstarter from a year ago?
I think it was just it has Xeno in it, right?
Yes, that one. So
I'm a big fan of them. I actually was just watching their episodes yesterday.
So those guys did a Kickstarter also, and I say but, I like it's worse, but it only went on YouTube. They couldn't find anyone to host it. Like it wasn't on Prime, it was on Netflix. I'm asking you now, like, what's the avenue in which this will be able to be watched?
Yeah. So 2 things. One, short films, they're not really a cash grab. They're more or less of this is what we have. This is an idea we have. Let's pitch it and see if somebody picks us up. For me, I want a bit of both. So where do I want to put it up? I'm in talks with a couple places right now to, like, once this is done, put it up there for a small fee, maybe something like $1, $2 for people to rent or stream it. it's easily accessible to more people, and we actually can make something from it versus
Sure.
putting it on YouTube and getting 1 million views. Maybe it's not monetized, and that's it, just exposure. So yeah, put it on a platform where you can make a little bit back from it. But this is also to show my portfolio and to put this in film festivals. I want this to be seen by
Nice.
people around the world, first in the
Yes.
film festival
Yeah,
circuit.
get the awards, get the people who are interested in this, get the people who have incentive to put a little bit of fuel behind your short film because
Yeah.
because they care about it more than people like me. I'm just a YouTube guy who watches the big superhero movies on Marvel, DC. I like Harry Potter, I like Game of Thrones. I like the big things. You're not gonna get a guy like me or guys like me to care about a short film unless I hear like, do you know that this is nominated for the such and such at the Sundance Film Festival, at the this and that film festival? It got the Golden Star. Like that is the way that you would attract me.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And so I know that to make this into series and to make it into something else, especially when I'm the new kid on the block, this has only been out there for probably 2 months now. I know it's going to take time to build a community and all that. And so first thing is to get the word out there, do the Kickstarter. If people like it, do show more of it. And also to get it out there to the film festivals so that more producers and big names can see it and probably even pick it up and say, hey, let's turn this into a series, or what else do you have so that we can get behind you?
I hear you. Sounds like more a passion project. Well, it is a passion project. Alex, I don't know you, but I can read your mind and recognize that we watch a lot of media, we consume a lot of it, and most of the leads, most of the environments, most of it is lighter skinned pigmentation folk. It's white led, it's white dominated. So I'm welcoming a brand new black character. It's just I need to know who's behind it. Like as you know, you're doing a Kickstarter, you're asking it to be backed. I need to know what's the trajectory of if this succeeds. I need to know how persistent you'll be. Like, what is your release strategy? And it's like, I'm glad that you've thought it out, and I'm really glad that the footage that I saw earlier is just like use the better word for it, but that's not final product. Like that's
Pre-prod,
concept. Say it again.
Pre-production.
Pre-production. There it is.
Yeah.
He should connect with the first 15. You know what that is?
No, never heard of it.
Do a reading so they can hear the script and submit. No, that you can't read the script. That would spoil the story.
That would be hard. But I appreciate that.
But your Kickstarter is going to be linked, and I'll put it in the chat just now. I'm also going to clip this. It'll be its own video, and the Kickstarter will be available in the description to see for yourselves. Alex, thank you for coming through. It's called the Kazi Village Rescue. Oh, it's based in Panama. Where is it based out of?
Oh, the setting of the story?
Yeah, where's the setting of the story based out of?
Oh, man. So the world of the Kazi, it's based on Earth, but it's not, like, the places in it are not, like, Earth names, if that makes sense. But I'd say part of it is the setting is inspired by, let's say, Western Caribbean or, like, a part of Panama.
No, that's good. I like escapism. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's got its own rules. And that's why we see guns, and we see also, like, the housing is... Here, let me just find a picture of it, or moments from the trailer to explain what I'm trying to say. You see wooden, like the homes are basically from an era where guns with lasers wouldn't be, right? Like you get to make up your own time period, basically.
Yeah. I was thinking of, using actual Earth names, but the amount of research that you need to do to make it factual and like not offend people if you're saying, oh, this is Panama in the future, or this is America in the future. I was just like, stay clear of that.
Smart. You get to make it. You get to build it on your own. Are there white people in the world?
Yes, there are. There are white people in the world. There's black. There's most Earth races and potentially like other species of people as well.
Hey, you're doing the work. I'm glad for you, and I am really happy that that footage was not final product.
It's not
Because I was down on it before. Thank you for this conversation. You've got 30 days to kickstart this thing. Folks, if you want to help out, you know what to do. I'm chill. I'm out.
Good to meet you guys. Take care.
Take care. Someone says Spike Lee white people. There was one. Darius, you there?
Yes.
There was one more thing that we didn't touch on that you sent me, and I noticed it in the middle of him speaking. It was Star Wars related. So we're going to pretend the last 15 minutes didn't just happen. We're going to go back into stream mode. Here is the topic. It was Star Wars. A Star Wars sequel trilogy feels inevitable, says the Hollywood Reporter. Given the vocal desire for Soderbergh's Kylo Ren movie, drivers' excitement, and petitions to bring Ben Solo back, the most obvious answer to the future of Star Wars might be the simplest. Make Star Wars Episode 10, 11, and 12. You first.
I mean, hey, if they do that, they do that. I'm not too optimistic about, even with Dave at the helm of things. I'm not as optimistic as everyone else is. I think that Star Wars is in, as I've said many times when we talk about it, I think it's in an irreplaceable position, irreparable position. I don't think, no matter what you do, the fandom it's just not. I said it when we were talking about episode 8, that really is what did it. There's nothing that you can do that is going to bring the fandom all together where everybody's going to be like, oh, that was just fantastic. You're going to have people that hate it just because that's the popular thing to do. You're going to have people that hate it just simply because they hate it. You're going to have people hate it because that's not my Star Wars. You're going to have people hate it because that's Disney.
Yeah.
And then you're going to, the list goes on and on within the Star Wars fandom. So if they do that, I think they continue to dig a hole deeper and deeper and deeper for them. I've said before, I think any type of redemption that they could possibly have, but still would be very fractured within the fandom, would be to pretend as if none of this stuff happened and you revert back to the main characters, Luke, Han, Leia. There are stories there from the EU now, the extended universe, that take place after 6, that people would like to see with those characters over these characters that you tried to force feed us. So if they do that, hey, then that just simply means the studio has not learned, and they won't learn. I don't even know if Star Wars is even as popular as Star Wars once was. It's hard to say. I still love Star Wars. I'll always love Star Wars, but I'll always get excited about the things I love within Star Wars. But I don't know that kids today are looking for Star Wars. I don't know that there's a true fandom within this younger generation of Star Wars or for Star Wars. I think we that grew up on Star Wars and those before us and things like that are the ones that are going to continue to carry Star Wars. I'm not saying Star Wars is dead or going to die, but I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to dead or going to die. People still love Star Wars, but I think as these generations get, whatever's after Z and whatever's after them, I think it's going to continue to get wane and worse on the fandom. People are going to be like, that relic of a movie.
Okay. I'm going to get Blue, write a deep, long comment on the video when I clip it and I post it later today. But I'll say the lie that Ben Solo has enthusiasm and there's a fan petition and everyone wants to see that. Keep him alive in 10, 11, 12. No, I don't have that. I don't want to see that when Ben Solo was putting his life energy into Rey, that he put a baby inside her belly. Now she's pregnant. I don't want to see the Ben Solo thing continue. I'm done with it. I hope that it is over and we never get that furthered in 10, 11, 12. I'm good on that. Whoever gave this quote is full of it. And then the next part of it says, of note, Simon Kinberg is developing a new trilogy of Star Wars movies, which are rumored to include Rey. We predict these new movies will be episodes 10, 11, 12. I think that's a safe prediction to make. It's just 1 + 1 = 2. Dave Filoni did it with Simon Kinberg for Rebels. He's gonna do with Simon Kinberg for 10, 11, 12. And the only thing we can do about that is not buy a ticket to Starfighter, which will have Rey at the end of it. And if all roads lead to Rey, and they make $1 billion because that movie had Ryan Gosling in it, then we just funded 10, 11, 12. We funded the direction of Star Wars, and we paid for a disaster. We paid for Rey. It doesn't necessarily mean disaster, but I associate the character Rey with disaster. Theoretically, you can have a good movie featuring Rey. It's just not what I want. Star Wars is in a very terrible position, man.
Indeed, they are.
Damn. And here's some hope. Just because it's in production, it's developing, it doesn't mean that we have to follow through with it. Everything is developing. Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, Lando Calrissian with Donald Glover is in development. There's so much in development. Now that you're in charge, reassess, talk to Jon Favreau, and make it Star Wars we like, with creators we like, with the heroes we know. And if you're going to make new heroes, explain why they can use the Force. It's just not what I want, man. This is not what I want. Star Wars just needs episode 6.1 and it will heal everything. Well, what's The Mandalorian? That is 6.1. What's Ahsoka? That is 6.1. Take all that happening in that time period. That matters, that's relevance. Make a trio movie, a trilogy, that ends with the sequel trilogy characters teased at the very end, and it will fix it. 6.2.
I don't know. Is my mic on?
Yeah, your mic's on, but I don't know either.
I don't know. I feel like with the Star Wars stuff, everybody's going to have their own theory of why, but I definitively think that it was killed with 8. That's when we really saw the hard. We all, even though we had our nitpicks with Force Awakens, we accepted Force Awakens, and we accepted Force Awakens because it was like, okay, well, we were told Star Wars was never coming back, so we're happy that it's back. Yes, this is a carbon copy of episode 4 with its own Disney quirks to it, but okay, cool. We're interested in this character Snoke. We're interested in this character Phasma. Blah, 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 blah. But then you delivered 8 and showed us that Phasma was nothing more than just someone in a suit.
And we stopped being interested.
You killed Snoke, and then I thought, oh, that's a ruse, but I was wrong because somehow Palpatine returned. And then
Finn was on a side quest.
Yeah, and X, Y, and Z. So those characters, again, I know some of you like those characters, and maybe even the person that commented like those characters, are not liked by majority of the fandom.
Majority.
They're just not. They're not liked by majority of the fandom. And anything you do with any of those characters, with Ben Solo possibly being the exception, is going to fail. Every time. Every single time. It is why at Galaxy's Edge right now, they are doing the Imperial March. They are doing the original Star Wars score. They are bringing the sequel Star Wars, or the prequel Star Wars score, John Williams scores into it. It's why they put stormtroopers on the ground. It's why they put Vader on the ground. It's why I'm sure at some point in time we'll see a video where Palpatine will be at Galaxy's Edge. Why are they doing these things? Because your shit didn't work. So now we have to revert back to the thing that made us the billion-dollar company that we are.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's no matter what you do, if it points towards those characters, people are immediately going to turn away. And it's because of the history that has come with that started back in 2015. No one cares.
As soon as they made Finn a simp, they flushed it. Plus, Rey was a wash of a character as well.
Yeah.
I don't care what some canon comic did. Just do that one movie. The Rise of the First Order with young Ben Solo, Han losing the Falcon, Lando having a kid, and Thrawn.
What you need to do is you need to go straight into Heir to the Empire. Go straight into that, or Shadows of the Empire. One of those.
Well, what you need to do is different for everyone, and maybe my answer will change, but what needs to be done is the trio that CJH said, Han, Luke, and Leia, gotta be seen on screen happy. And if that's not a live action movie, then that's just a TV show that's animated. Then let's do an animated TV show, Clone Wars animation of Han, Luke, and Leia post Return of the Jedi. Maybe Ben Solo is like 2 years old, 3 years old. He doesn't even talk yet. He's not a main character. He's in there, but who cares if he's in there? You know, you get R2, you get Lando, and Chewbacca's there. Wedge Antilles has a few lines too. I think that's what needs to be done, just to see happily ever after for them. And the main character could be like some young Jedi, you know, and he can be an alien creature, not a human, because it's animated. You can do that. That's probably what I would do. That's probably what I would do. Just repeat what worked with Clone Wars and Ahsoka. How there's just this new character in town who's kind of the lead of it, and we get to see Han, Luke, and Leia do adventures while building to the Thrawn BS, while building, maybe Grogu can show up in there, some Mandalorians can show up in there. Seeing Han, Luke, and Leia is so important. It'll be the same time period as Grogu and Mando. Why not?
No.
Why?
Mandalorian worked. Mandalorian was obviously was the biggest success that they had, but they also ruined that. No, they didn't ruin it. Season 3 was a massive success, and Mando Grogu is the top-rated, excited film, most anticipated film of 2026.
No. Enthusiasm for the product isn't the same as they ruined it. Like what happened to Luke Skywalker? That character was ruined. That's a ruined character. Mandalorian himself, Din Djarin, isn't ruined. We saw him do adventures that we didn't enjoy as much.
Din Djarin's not ruined, but how many more adventures do you want to see where Din Djarin is babysitting Grogu and telling Grogu, "Hey, stop it! Don't force pull that towards yourself."
Yes, the storyline of father and son babysitting where he doesn't even speak, that is getting old. Yes, you're right.
I think it is old. We've been doing this dance since 2018 with Grogu.
Yeah, but like you said, the character isn't ruined. So I would like to see the character in an episode or two of this animated show I'm pitching you with Han, Luke, and Leia featured in it.
Okay, well, yeah, if you see so my pitch is not animated. My pitch is live action. I would love animated something though, but live action is still my pitch for it. And it would be you don't need to make up anything. I think that's one of my biggest gripes when I talk to people about Star Wars or how do you fix Star Wars. It's everyone, not everyone, but some people are like, oh, well, do this or do that and make this up. But you literally do not have to do that. You don't. This is not like we're at the end of episode 6. It's like, oh, nothing. There's nothing else written. We don't know where to go from here. Now we have to make up a story. You don't. The stories are literally already there. It's all you got to do is pick the book up, open the book, and it gives you a 10 to 15 year roadmap of quality content, quality characters that would put asses in the seats and maybe, just maybe, revert the fandom back to Star Wars where people give a fuck. But when you start doing your thing where you just said, well, pull Grogu in and then you can pull some Mandalorians in and you can do this and you can make your own thing. It's like, no. Like, yes, we can have your Elseworld stories and have your made up stories, but I feel like if you're going to get the fandom back, stop making shit up. Yes, it's all made up, but you already have stuff that people really love. That people were begging you in 2015 saying, please do this. People have been begging you forever for the Old Republic. You could even do that. You could even say, hey, let's just bypass the Luke stuff for right now because that's a sensitive subject for a lot of Star Wars fans. Let's go over here to Revan, Malik, and everybody else, Bastila, and let's hang out with them for a while and give some quality stories. And we can give you Malagus and everyone else. But we want to hang out with Grogu, who's not spoken, Din Djarin and the other Mandalorians, and whatever Mando Grogu universe stuff that they're doing. I just and that's my issue with Star Wars, where I keep pushing back, and I only watch the things that I like, and I'm the only thing I'm anticipated for with Star Wars is the Darth Maul series. Nothing else is, because nothing else to me matters.
It'd be safer to go with the stories that many fans of Star Wars have already bought into, especially when there was so little of Star Wars, when it was slim pickings. Let me read this novel. Like all of you guys have. It's a consensus that the Thrawn trilogy of books, Heir to the Empire trilogy, is worth adapting. I get it. Y'all's know Disney hates canon and source material. Does Filoni, though, because he's the one who brought Thrawn back. Are you pleased with Thrawn in Rebels? Because it was a version of what Timothy Zahn wrote, but it wasn't a one-for-one Thrawn. So were you happy with that?
I thought Thrawn was great in Rebels. I thought Thrawn was okay in as the Ahsoka when he showed up. Thrawn being the big bad villain of Rebels was fantastic. And it's not a one-for-one of Timothy Zahn's Thrawn, but it is still Timothy Zahn's Thrawn, because when Thrawn enters in Rebels, it's literally, if you read those comics, read the Black Horse comics where Thrawn is introduced, and it's the Chiss ascendancy, and he's spying, and he's not really here. That's the storyline they changed within the Star Wars canon. He didn't give a fuck about the Empire. He's not really here for any of that. He's just here to make sure the Empire's not a threat to the Chiss ascendancy. Are they going to be a threat to what we have planned, what we're trying to do? Rises to the ranks, becomes Grand Admiral Thrawn, blah blah blah. But those comics, where they end, is literally where he picks up in Rebels. Because right before he walks through those doors in Rebels, he had just gotten out of a meeting with the Emperor, where the Emperor made him Grand Admiral Thrawn. That's why he comes in and says, the Emperor just recently promoted me to Grand Admiral. So it's not a one-for-one, but it's still his Thrawn.
It's enough for you where you're pleased with it. Take the Search for Ben Solo movie and rework it as Battle of Jakku. Is Luke in that? Then yes. Is Luke in it? Do you know
Battle
Luke?
of Jakku?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't do anything else without that passing down torch movie, because all roads lead to Last Jedi. But even if we say all roads lead to Last Jedi because that's how time works, it's down the timeline that happens, the things that happen in that movie are not that significant and can be worked, where Luke Skywalker said all of those things to Rey because he was lying, because he wanted to protect something, because he didn't even die, because if he really died, why would his metal arm go away with him, right? Just his clothes fell. Anyways, there's ways where we can have Last Jedi happen, and it just wasn't that significant. Like everything Luke said, the way he acted in front of Rey was him playing a character. Sometimes you got to play a little crazy just so they don't smell what's going on. But the real threat is the Yuuzhan Vong, and so that's why I didn't tell Rey about it. I wanted you can don't say all roads lead to Last Jedi like it's a dead end and we're doomed to follow it. Disney is the soccer mom who drops her kid past the cereals they really want and over to the Kashi cereal. Just listen to them, jeez. Dave Filoni doesn't hate it. Kathy did. So busy trying to give us what they think we need. By the way, get ahead of the misinformation that YouTubers will spread. So Darth Talon being in the Maul TV show is a George Lucas idea. YouTubers will claim it's Disney, not understanding, but it's a George idea. I'm aware of the Maul Talon stuff he had. One more thing to share was what the Wrap said. The Wrap, share screen. Here it is. When they did their little article, they updated it because the story published earlier today stating that a Lucasfilm spokesperson has denied that Dave Filoni disliked Andor. They updated their story. It's not true that Dave Filoni disliked Andor. I can theorize. Maybe what really happened was Dave Filoni doesn't like how much money Andor was getting and how it costed him a TV show, or why we had to delay Ahsoka because we're too busy doing Andor, or he probably expressed less interest in Andor because it's Andor. But he's saying, no, I didn't dislike Andor. I can get in the weeds of that, but the real story is, wow, he reached out to not have miscommunication. He reached out. Someone from Dave Filoni's Lucasfilm. How good does that feel to say? Dave Filoni's Lucasfilm. Someone from Dave Filoni's Lucasfilm said, we are not going to have this spread about how there's fighting in the studio. I'm going to let them know, no, that's not true. What you had about Andor and me, you got some false information. We're going to correct that. Communicating is how you may get yourself out of the Star Wars hole that you're in, and making me, the fan, believe that you like. So if you're an Andor fan, I'm not, but if you're an Andor fan, you probably like knowing that Dave Filoni is with the Andor stuff. It's not true he dislikes Andor. You want to hear that stuff. Good response here. Good communicating. I'm waiting for him to be a little bit more communicating, a little bit more of a showman, a little bit more, here's the slate. Let me explain why this is important. I'm waiting for him to communicate more. He only does like one interview a year. One interview on camera a year. That's what I gather.
Good. Stay behind the scenes, repair the fandom, or repair the IP. Don't need to hear from you.
Dave Filoni's Lucasfilm, baby. Kennedy is not the president of Lucasfilm. Do you know how happy that has brought happiness to me? You know how many real problems there are in the world, but then I remember Kathleen Kennedy is not president. And like she said last year in that big Deadline article, oh, I'll be still producing movies. I'll still be around. That's not true. She's not going to be producing the next 3 Rey movies. She's not. We already have Star Wars Starfighter and Mandalorian Grogu that have been filmed. She's not involved in anything after that. She's really gone. Everyone inhale with me and exhale. Kathleen Kennedy is not the president of Lucasfilm.
She is home.
Gone. It's all going to be better. We might get a Black Jedi now. No?
We shall see. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not like everyone else. I am cautiously optimistic when it comes to Star Wars. So we will see what entails with Dave taking over. I love Dave. We will see.
The cleanup and rewrite is happening in real time, I see. Yeah. They do need to clean up and rewrite. I would love to know reshoots are coming to Star Wars Starfighter. Reshoots are coming to Mandalorian and Grogu. It'd make me go, oh, what's going to slip through the cracks? What did Kathleen Kennedy try to prevent that will happen now? Yes. Now, if we can get Feige to step down, that's why Bob Iger is leaving, so that you can get what you want. Oh, God, Kevin Feige let the witch do Brand New Day. Oh, Amy Pascal is back for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Excuse me while I drink bleach. The last 3 Spider-Man movies were good. Or as Amy Pascal calls it, Spider-Man. She's got a lisp.
Yeah, Pascal was running things while he was running Avengers.
Let's go home. Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to another afternoon woke up. It is afternoon. We are woken up. I'm ChillMonger, and that's Planet Fanatics. The next time we hit you up, should be tomorrow. I'll be free in the afternoon. Darius, will you?
Yep, what we sent in the DMs last night.
I'm gonna ask you what you mean exactly. As soon as we hit the end of this broadcast.
We sent the schedule for the week.
Okay.
Yeah, we sent that last night.
Bye-bye. Thumbs up the video if you're watching it on my channel. If you're watching it on Darius's Planet Fanatics channel, thumbs up and leave a comment. We appreciate your appreciation. We're out.
Thank you for being a friend.
Oh, yeah.
Travel down the road and back again.
Hey, so we started from the bottom, now we're here, girl. Oh, yeah. This is my part right here. Ooh, if I did everything, the biggest gift, the biggest. Thank you for being my friend. Oh, yeah. Hallelujah.